Welcome to an archiving session of Enyelah Brownin Taylor's Instagram. I am Enyelah Brownin Taylor and I am reading it out aloud. Just remember, the creator of all things is me and I am her, Mother God revitalized. My teachings are attuned to the creation moving forward, and the usage of my energy is what grows and multiplies all things. This growth is expansive because many things I have no mercy for, no grace or forgiveness for. It is only the cost that must be paid, and many costs require repeated actions over time. All things cost, but prepared for some. Some of the costs that are longer than a lifetime. It's the sweetest investment that you've ever dove into. Infinite everything. Hey, I've overcome the greatest of forces and breathe in this human. I am the origin. I am before beginning was a thought. My nature has changed, my evolution as the Mother God has changed. Look out on my business page, then in the next few days, a beautiful story of my own overall journey of becoming human and yet merging with this already ancient soul with a colorful expression. Truly a pleasure to be the glory and experience at the same time. Gratitude to breathe the air of this world and feel these feelings. Speak the words I am always thinking. 15th of July, 2024. And this is the reel that came with it. Seventeenth of July. The more you have and can do, the more reasons others have to want you for. To be wealthy is a different set of pains. We have had people use their deepest acting skills to achieve getting close to us. To be wealthy is far more difficult, far more complicated than just living and making a life. You have to know who to trust, and this in itself can be deeply devastating. When you have invested so many hours, many years, many times you stood behind them and believed in them, their vision, to find out they sold you the greatest lie of believing they wanted you for you. To be truthfully, to be around wealthy souls, wealthy humans is a high price and a privilege that until you are in those shoes, making those choices, you will never know. It is hard both to hold wealth, but to desire to share it is more difficult than earning it, holding it, and maintaining it. To blindly trust is not an option. To trust others beyond difficult, because humans will always have the ability to hurt you. And so there is a level of trust that is not available anymore for even a partner who you would share your life with. There is a cost for everything. Wealth is not for the weak. It is not for the tempted. It's not for the attached or emotional or fun. Wealth is a purpose in itself. It is not done well most of the time, but I'm here to show you all how wealth is created and lived, to pave the standards of what power, wealth, and responsibility is. And as God is me and I am her creator, before all things and in all things, it is my job to show you how to do the hardest job on the planet, how to be wealthy from the deepest root of the tallest branch in my business, in my reality, in the laws, in the carrying out of all things. It is most difficult position to master and maintain, and I'm here for it. Allow me to share with you the execution of balance, judgment, justice, abundance, growth, what responsibility really is, and what you should all really have, not what you have been believing you should have. I am dismantling countries' wealth and giving it to the individuals who take responsibility, root to tip. The powers that have ruled and governed countries, alliances have rotted the country's wealth and the people in them. It's all changing. Watch as you start to see the wealth of yourself appear as you are within, balanced, nothing more and nothing less. And so it has become. This is the July 17th, 2024, and this is the reel that came with it. All right, July 21st, 2024. To have something valuable, make sure you can protect it. I have spent more time, energy, money, mental stamina, education, failures, ego deaths, learning about security than anything, because I've had something very valuable, and when it was so easily pulled from my grips by the voice of someone who I'd thought had my best interest in mind, / who claimed to be the best at what they did, / who I had trusted in other areas of my life, and it had worked so far. I learned an expensive lesson when I was 21, bedridden for no reason, over a year and a half put back into my hands of my abuser. I had called her Mother. Again, after many attempts at moving away from her and having my whole life still staying. Again, after many attempts of moving away from her, period. Moving away and then still staying in contact. Okay, because this sentence does not make any sense. My apologies. Sure, I had power inside me. Sure, I had discernment. Sure, I was full of wisdom. I was always on top of my classes. And everything I do well. But I allowed a person who couldn't handle me, who couldn't advise me, and a person who was jealous of me and wanted my energy, which I now repel with all of the existence of all things. Now, long time I have forgiven her. I am also highly aware how deeply her programming and her influence was on me. This was one of my powerful lessons in life, even if I care, and they are in an important position that is uplifted by society, does not mean they are to be trusted or that they are correct. Respected, sure, but I respect all beings to choose what they choose. Respected, sure, but in respect sometimes that means cutting the cords of energy and communication. I have learned how many different layers are required to tap into and clean up in order to be wealthy and rich, keeping it. It's the practical things that seem so easy to just let go of, well, not to anger anyone or to stop a disagreement from happening. Standing for simple things like your inner feelings, even when those you care about don't want to accept them or disregard them completely. Standing for them. Yeah, it's about drawing the line and not bending. Yes, emotions matter. Being happy matters. Feeling comfortable in your mind and body matters. These are not easy things to stand for because mostly the only person who suffers is you. And well, you're strong, right? Well, that's the problem. Strength can be used anyway. Hold your standards or someone else's and fight yourself. To have something valuable, make sure you can protect it. The key is knowing yourself, because the wealth is always rooted within your spirit and only you can hold the correct path, the correct way to open it and protect it. Yes, it's a part of my service to guide you into tapping into certain things and coding things in your energy. Many levels of awareness you must obtain is crazy because protecting your wealth in your sleep is real. Protecting your wealth and what you look at is real. Trust me, living a clean life is impossible in this world because the viruses are everywhere. But you can limit it, and you can also learn how to recognize it. Some of these processes take years to build and much longer, if even, to figure out they exist to implement. High security, high protection on energetic level changes you, but I will say it's worth it if you are truly wealthy. The security of energy is a requirement for having anything of worth. Capital letters, trust and believe. Hey, the extent people who work energy hey, the extent people who work energy will go just for petty things is crazy. And the things people do for money is annoy her. Huh? I don't get that. But what they do for money, it's crazy. When I tell you holding wealth is harder than earning it, making it, I will tell you wealth is consistently being taken from many sides, and the things my spirit is and makes. I reject that now, and I hold that now. What has been taken is been brought back, and those places have been mended. My gifts are worth more than zillions because I make things everyone bases their life on and needs to function. So yeah, security is important to maintain its purity and its direction. 21st of July, 2024. And this is the reel that came with it. Thank you for being here in this archiving session. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.